Did you know that you can go backwards on a trade, even if you didn't mean to? LaShawn laughing because
That is, whew.
I didn't know this.
Listen, in the NFL, you rarely see that happen. In the NBA, you see it happen, and in Major League Baseball, you will see it happen. But in the NFL, it's a rarity.
We'll
But
see
this is the Ravens' second time doing it.
that the second time. I didn't realize that. When was the first time? Because the
2018, they had signed Ryan Grant to a 3-year contract.
the
He
running back from Green
he
Bay.
was he was a running back. Then he was a wide receiver. They did a physical on him a few hours before he wanted to sign the contract before the league year started, and they came back and told him the same thing. You failed your physical. The guy never missed the NFL game to injury, but yet and still, the Ravens said that he failed his physical, and a few hours later, they signed Michael Crabtree.
Oh, that's spicy. I didn't know that. Do you think that maybe there's some and we'll get to the other things at this later on in the day. Do you feel like maybe the Ravens are on some nefarious stuff?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah.
but
I'm
but
not
I
gonna.
but I thought that they were the epitome of NFL organizations, though.
Nah, this is, in my opinion, this was dirty. You traded 2 first-round picks for this guy. You know how much he's getting, and I think it's like 36, 37 million, and then you go back on it because you said he quote unquote failed a physical. You knew saying he had knee surgery to his meniscus. So how did he fail the physical? You're not failing the physical up out of nowhere, man. Like these organizations, they know what's going on, but to sit up there and fail him and then say, no, we're not gonna go through with this deal is bullshit.
Well, that's what's so weird to me is that this thing isn't just like it's not an internal thing when it comes to the Ravens. When it gets leaked and it's like every single platform is saying the Ravens traded for Max Crosby, at that point in time, you feel like it's a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
And physical or not, that's the expectation. And we talked a little bit about this off stage, and now it's kind of my buddy Josh Whiteman, who lives in Florida, said, "Man, maybe Tom Brady is a mastermind behind all this stuff. Like maybe his galaxy brain is working more than ours." And I don't want that to happen because he already ruined my Bills for 20 years. You don't have to ruin the league for another 20. Like that is not how
Win
I'm
another
supposed to go down.
another 7 championships as a GM/owner.
Man, if man, we don't the MJ stands are already running up the NASCAR stuff. We really don't need Tom Brady to keep running with this dialogue and keep going forward. But I, how do you get to this point and then fail the physical? It all just seems like there's it's not all on the up and up, I think.
Exactly, it isn't. And I seen that some reporters came out and said that agents and GMs they're not going to want to deal with the Ravens anymore because they keep pulling this bullshit. And just so you know, your Buffalo Bills signed Bradley Chubb, 3 years, $29.5 million.
And Matt Campbell, see the thing is like I know that we talked off stage and you said, "Hey, we got a real thing for you to look at." And I said, "Well, let's leave it for the show." And then Matt Campbell went in and just dunked on it and said Bradley Chubb. So he knew when you knew. I just wanted to be surprised. But Bradley Chubb, is it is that a good deal for you? I don't even know what the actual
My
the
thing is, if you still got Joey Bosa up there on the other side, that's a good deal.
is it though? What's the monetary value of the Bradley Chubb deal?
But he's getting about almost 10 million a year. That's cheap
That's
with the
like
cap
that's
going up.
actually a steal. That's a steal.
Yeah, 10 million a year for defensive end number two. Now my thing is that you're gonna need another nose tackle to go
Oh,
inside.
I'm sorry. Is Ed Oliver not enough? I
You
was
still
told they was.
you need a fierce enforcer, man.
I told that he was. I was told that he was good enough.
That dude, he will cost you a game or two. You know it. He will cost you a game or two. But
for sure, he's absolutely going to. But and this is why I'm good at GM on Madden, and Brandon Bean isn't in real life.
whew, I don't know what the hell Brandon Bean is doing, man.
I do need to know. So, I had a transition that I wanted to get to, and we are going off script right now. So, with the Bills doing this, and the Raiders, well, not the Raiders, but the Ravens kind of backpedaling. We talked a little bit at the very, very, very beginning of this episode was, do you think that this thing was either leaked or was done on purpose? Because the Raiders right now, like when it comes to Lindenbaum, all they did was give him money. Like there was no other compensation for it. So it's not like you're manipulating draft picks or anything like that. You just gave that dude straight cash money. So they got Lindenbaum, and then they try to give him away and then put him back. Is Tom Brady behind it? Like what's going on? Because this whole thing right now with the Raiders, this Raiders regime right now is wild right now, dude.
They're spending a lot of money. They got their draft picks back.
And they got Max back.
They got Max back. Now, my thing is that will Max still want to be traded? Like, in my opinion, as a player, once a team get rid of me and then I got to come back, like, man, send me somewhere else. I can't be here. You guys don't trust me. I can't trust you.
I love the fact that you said that because I think a lot of people take out of the consideration like there's a human element that comes to sports. It's like, well, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Like, what does it matter where you go? No, it's like to me, it's always the Will Smith gif of like, how come he don't want me, man?
Yeah.
You don't want me? I don't want to be here either. Send me someplace else. If this deal doesn't go through, send me somewhere else. I'm good with it. If you don't want me, I don't want you.
Philly, step up. Chicago, step
Philly,
up.
Philly, don't.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. You know how Howie is.
Don't you speak that evil, Ricky Bobby.
He's seen that deal didn't come through. He just comes straight in through the back door, like, "Hey, man."
Well, they just
I got something for you.
They just sent Cooper DeJean off.
They can't pay everybody. I'll just say that.
The thing that irritates me about NFL fans is like they're always like, we got this much cap space and we got X and Y and Z. The bill is always due. You might be pushing the can down the road, but the bill is always due at some point. Now, the New Orleans Saints are the kings of this, and that's why they've been cheeks for so long.
And eventually, I think this is their last year in cap hell. Next year, they have like $150 million available.
Oh, is Taysom Hill finally getting off the books?
Hill, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Cameron Hayward. I'm just like, hey, it's evil, man. I know next year the Browns is going to be paying, Deshaun Watson $80.2 million to go away.
That's bananas.
Listen, I would love to take a paycheck like that to go away from my job. You would never hear from me again.
I've done nothing wrong, and I'll take $80 million. I'll do all kinds of nefarious stuff for 110.
Like Tua just got paid $99 million for Miami to go away.
That's actually something that I wanted to bring up to you like later on because the free agency market has just been out of control.
This is what happens when the cap goes up like this. It went up $22 million. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, the cap space is basically just kind of like the housing market or cars. There's a certain threshold that it's going to go up a certain percentage, usually every year. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that as long as we got Sims who go NFL is life, they gonna just go bleed you dry.
Exactly.
And that's what the NFL is doing. They're gonna bleed you dry. So to get back to the first talking point, we'll get to more NFL stuff in a moment. Bam Adebayo, 83 points.
It's legit. I don't care what anybody says. It's legit. It's hard to score 30 points in an NBA game. He scored 83. They couldn't stop him. I mean, he scored 30 points in the first quarter. 30. And
He
you
was
mean to tell me you got a problem with the way he got 83? They couldn't stop him. Like those were legit fouls. They kept sending him to the foul line. I mean, what are you gonna do? What can you complain about?
so. To be fair, on the way that I consumed the way that that game happened, because I didn't watch the game in its entirety, but I did watch a lot of the fouls, a lot of the scoring. Were some of the calls to me ticky tacky? Yeah, but in reality, it's just it's one shot. I don't know, man. Like if y'all gave up 80 to somebody, it feels like you earned it.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe like people are comparing it to like Will Chamberlain and Kobe. I'm just like, every game is different, man. You know, I had read that, that Wilt was his teammates were letting the Knicks score just so he can get to 100. With Kobe in that fourth quarter, his teammates kept passing him the ball.
I'm so glad that you said that, and I want to recognize Matt Campbell, who's another Bills fan, and he just said, "Yo, it is legit. 83 is 83," and he's right. 83 is 83. What I had to say, I was talking to my boy Will, who lives in Utah, who used to live in Philly yesterday, and I told him, "You remember when Kobe scored 60 against Utah and nobody was closing out? Y'all romanticize that."
Yep, he scored 60 points on 50 shots.
Exactly. So which one's staged and which one isn't? Because I was told that this thing was staged because look, I can understand from a content direction where like, well, the NFL's getting too much range. The NBA needs something. So let's have somebody beat Kobe. It's a really, 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 really long stretch, but fair enough. But then to say you're not going to acknowledge Kobe's 60 when y'all weren't actually watching the game and watching like nobody close out, nobody play defense, but it was a farewell tour for somebody who all of a sudden y'all now want to wrap your fingers around for the nostalgia. I'm not here for that.
You see it.
And other people are going to say, well, you're LeBron stans. No, you're from Ohio and I enjoy basketball. I also have common sense. And you do too.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's just not how this thing went down.
It was against the Wizards, man. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's hard to score. Like, I mean, if it was so easy, I'm pretty sure a lot of players would be doing it.
Well, because like so my buddy from Utah called me. I was on my way back from work and he called me. He goes, "Yo, I need to tell you some that you won't believe." And I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Bam Adebayo scored 83 points." And I said, "How?" He goes, "I haven't seen the box score, but there's probably a lot of free throws." So I got home and I looked at the box score and I'm going, man, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander better never see this because he's going to score 130.
Man, listen. And then that's when they were just saying that he was foul baiting. I'm like, if you see it, the Wizards were triple teaming him.
There were, and that is where I'm trying to be fair because there were some calls. Were they ticky tacky? Yes, but there was a lot of them. Would he have gotten 83 if he didn't get the exact calls all the time based on NBA refereeing? No. But based on how they were calling it that game, I don't know, man. Like, but still, like, let's just say we take like 7 points away, 75. It's not beating Kobe. I think that's the thing that people are really attaching themselves to is the fact that Kobe did it.
Exactly.
And they're still attached to him, the passing, how it happened. And there's a gravitation towards that more than anything else than just the point total. And they're emotionally invested in something different than what is actually real.
Yep. My thing is that it's hard. It's really hard, man. It's 83 points. I don't care that he was fouled 50 times. I mean, it's legit. If you didn't want him to score that much, I think you should have had a better defensive game plan from the beginning.
Well, it's also still, I mean, like it's the Wizards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, what do you really want to do defensively, anyways? But
When Kobe scored his 81, it was against the Raptors. The Raptors was a tanking team just like the Wizards. So are we gonna keep that same energy or no?
so one, there's that, and two, I feel like this is a very lost point on the moment of NBA history. And I brought this up with Will yesterday. Was I feel like what we do is we kind of like disconnect ourselves. If it's so far removed that we never saw it, we want to make sure that we keep that vision alive. If it was something that we could have seen but didn't, we can sometimes elevate it to this thing of, well, I was in the moment. You just weren't there. I was there, but you weren't.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the Kobe thing in Toronto, that was 20 years ago. We didn't see that in real time.
We just had to see it up there on Sports Center that night.
Right. It was the next day on Sports Center, and it's like, hey, Kobe scored 81. Everyone's like, man, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. That's not real life. That's not reality. And then it goes in the papers, and then it gets distributed and go, oh, damn, this dude really did do it.
Yeah.
Right now, we get to know in real time what you did and what you didn't do. There's a nostalgia of we're elevating things to a certain level that we maybe saw, but maybe didn't, or we're telling people that we saw, but we didn't actually really see, just to make us as sports fans feel like we're better than we are. And the disingenuous is just, it's tiring to me.
Oh, of course. Of course. Is these NBA fans, as I call them, the quote unquote super fans, they're so mad about it. I'm like, records are made to be broken, man. Not every record's gonna stand up forever, man.
I will ask you this though, because if there is one, because I do agree with you, I do believe that records are made to be broken, right? Because otherwise, why do we, like, not we, because I mean we're not in professional landscape of sports, but for those who are trying to achieve it and chase it, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to try to break something, right? But when it comes to, I feel like at this point in time, if something is broken record wise, there's always an excuse now.
They want to put an asterisk next to it.
Every single thing has to have an asterisk next to what was broken. Maybe just athletes weren't that great back then. They were great for what they were at that time.
Yep.
But people evolve, athletes evolve, we evolve.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, those things are gonna be broken. But the dummies just they want to put it down to, well, the rules change. Sometimes it's a rule change. Sometimes you let people who don't look like you, wink, wink, allow to play the game. And all of a sudden we realize, oh, white people aren't just the only people good at sports.
Yeah, that is true. Like, remember the whole Myles Garrett when he broke the sack record. They wanted to come out, and I'll say disrespect it and say that he had an extra game to break the record. Okay, fine, but the record was still broken.
Exactly.
I hate
like,
fans.
I don't know what you want me to do about that, like, man. Like, Myles Garrett didn't change the rules.
The league did. Well, it wasn't even a rule change. It was just they added an extra game. The owners added the extra game. The players had no other choice but to go with it.
Well, the other thing too about it, when you think about there's an extra game, is that there's one extra game, but what you're not, okay, we can look at it from that angle, which is not okay. That factually is consistent, right? That is not something that is inarguable. Mm-hmm. There is another game, and we get that. But when you want to say it's a passing league, the fact that he did that in this type of environment should counterbalance one extra game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, use common sense about this thing, man. It's not that difficult.
You with some of these fans, you just got to throw logic about the window, man.
Well, I was even said when I mentioned the Kobe 81 thing, and I said stands because some folks are still stands.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, well, we're still using stands. I'm like, well, when it's appropriately used.
Yeah. Because they come up out the woodwork and they want to discredit everything.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So I'm going through my Rolodex right now. So Bam getting 83. 83 is 83. That's the way I look at it.
Yep.
And so we kind of touched a little bit on the whole Tom Brady in the know. Do you think he legitimately had anything to? I know I saw that wry smile, and okay, I'm bad at self promoting, but either if you could follow the Playbook Podcast wherever you get your podcast for free, or the YouTube channel, which is just the Playbook Podcast on Sports Adventures Network. Do you think that Tom Brady really had anything to do with this, or is this just kind of like is it a happy accident?
I'll say a happy accident.
Really?
It just somehow some way this is gonna benefit them, and you know it. You know it.
I know, but it's Tom Brady. He doesn't deserve to be that happy, man. He was married to a supermodel. He got divorced from a supermodel. He doesn't deserve to be this happy, man.
He's successful, man. Some guys just get all the breaks. Some guys get all the breaks, man.
The worst thing that this man has ever gone through is not being a starting quarterback as a freshman at Michigan. And I hate this man for it.
He was a career backup. He gets his chance, and all of a sudden he blossomed into the quarterback that he was.
But see, and this is why like the quarterback position has always been a very intriguing conversational piece, right? Because Tom Brady was a 6th round draft pick and then win multiple Super Bowls. But he is unlike anybody else in the fact that largely, if you're a starting quarterback, you're not losing your job. That typically is not happening, right? But Tony Romo and Tom Brady are guys who were towards the end of the pecking order, who got their opportunity. And like, well, you can win a Super Bowl with anybody. Stop using the. I know that Romo didn't win a Super Bowl. Before this gets aggregated to the fact that I said that Tony Romo did, but like, it's like you can win a Super Bowl with anybody. Yes, you can, but the outlier. It's such an outlier.
You need everything to bounce your way, man.
You really exactly.
That's how I look at. Like I look at Seattle this year. Everything bounced their way. They had an outstanding defense, an outstanding receiver that just went off out of nowhere. Even though it was his second year, out of nowhere, he just went off.
Nuts.
He went off, and Sam Darnold was just in the right place at the right time.
He was not the same Darnold that we're used to.
Yes,
that's what he turned out to be.
That's how it goes, man. Like I look at like Malik Willis going from Green Bay to Miami.
I'm so glad you brought him up because we're going to get into free agent stuff. I think that is a horrible signing.
Like you should have went somewhere that had some weapons. Like I get it that you're going to have Waddle, but everything else there, that's a team that's tanking, man. That's a team that's deliberately tanking.
I didn't realize that Brian Flores was back on the coaching staff.
It is so bad, man. Like they traded away their safety to an division rival.
Their safety? Who they trade?
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Wait, where'd they send Minka to? I didn't realize that. Okay. That's not really. I'm not really worried about that. As a Bills fan, I'm not really worried about that.
I mean, I get it. Both of those teams are going to be bad next season, but you trading to an individual rival that's an unwritten rule. Unless they're giving you something that you're not even asking for.
See, and that's the thing that I want to make clear because I've mentioned it beforehand is that trading in division to me is not a problem. But you better man up on that coin, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like,
But Fitzpatrick going to the Jets is like, all right, whatever, man. Like, one man's trash is another man's come up, except for your come up is going to be coming down.
yeah, and they gave him a contract extension on top of it.
That's welcome to being a Jets fan.
Yeah, like they get him and then give him 3 years, $37 million. Like, come on, man. I get it though. Get the money.
Why would you do that? Like, I understand like you traded Sauce Gardner, but to me, Sauce Gardner is basically the cornerback of quarterbacks of Daniel Jones, if you will.
He doesn't. I mean, he's decent.
It does not warrant what you gave up for him and what you're about to pay him. It does not matter. It's stupid to me.
Yeah, I agree. Whew. It's like some of these free agent deals, I'm like, but you are what the team is willing to pay you.
Well, see, and that's part of the part of the beauty of what I do for work is it doesn't matter what it costs. It matters what the value is. You know, it's somebody who says like, well, you have this Durango coming in and you have the online discounts of X amount, but there's no discounts on this one. I'm like, yeah, but this one's different than the other one. It's not the same thing. It's like, yeah, I can get this center who is serviceable because I need a center at the offensive line, or I can get Trevor Linderbaum. And this is kind of why, and I'm not saying that I 100% defend this move, but I understand why they did it. Was a couple of years ago when the Jacksonville Jaguars signed Christian Kirk to just this stupid monster deal. And in the moment, I thought, yeah, are they overpaying for him? Sure, I get it. But what they're trying to do is establish that you want to come to Jacksonville to play with Trevor Lawrence. You want to come here and play with Travis Etienne. We have something here where you want to be a part of it. So when we see that the Raiders, by most metrics, would say the Raiders extensively overpaid for Linderbaum, it doesn't mean that he reset the market where the next center is going to get paid $30 million. But what they are saying is that right now, is we are not trading the number one pick. We are getting a quarterback.
Yeah.
We are getting Hernandez. That is happening in real time.
And they're going to build around him. I mean, they got the tight end. They got Jalen Naylor, who's a good slot receiver. They just got to get an outside receiver to go along with it, and they got to protect that kid because if he becomes damaged goods from week 1 all the way into week 18, his confidence may be shot.
Do you believe in this? And this is why all of this is so fascinating. Like the domino effect of how these things work is more intriguing to me than the box score. Do you feel that the Raiders are more excited to have Max Crosby back, or do you think they're more disappointed because they would have rather had those 2 first-round draft picks, one in 26 and one in 27, and be able to build them because they're so far away from being even remotely good?
Yeah, they should want those 2 first-round picks because that first one was the 14th overall pick. You could have used that up on another receiver. And it's a gamble because you never know how the Ravens season might turn out. Who's not to say it might be a top 5 pick? You just never know.
I mean, there is that. Again, so the likeliness is very low, but is the probability there? Of course.
Of course. So my thing is, even if it's a end of a first round pick, who's not to say you can use that along with your first round pick and move up?
There is that. And you mentioned me. I remember like in our group chat, you were like, congratulations on getting Max Crosby. And I was searching the air and I'm like, did this really just happen? And you're like, nah, it might be. But I also didn't realize the Bills restructured Josh Allen's contract until after you had mentioned that, because I went and dug into that rabbit hole. So is that where you think the landing spot is? Max Crosby to the Bills?
Brandon got to do something, man. He got to do something.
He already got a wide receiver. He doesn't like going on personal radio shows. He wants to defend himself.
That's another thing. He has rabbit ears. You cannot be a GM and have rabbit ears.
Yo,
you gotta have thick skin.
This is the exact reason why people are like, well, didn't you hear? Didn't you hear all the keyboard warriors? I'm like, you guys are absolutely nerds. You don't think that anybody who plays or runs an organization doesn't hear some of the outside noise?
Oh, they do. They hear a lot.
Don't be a weirdo about it.
I wouldn't say, hey, did you hear this? I'm sure you hear about it. Like,
don't act like you didn't.
And they'll sit up there and they'll lie. No, I didn't hear about that. I don't listen to the outside noise. You know goddamn well you do.
And then Brandon Bean goes on basically 106th and Park and does a freestyle about why they don't want to have a number one wide receiver because of their point total. This weirdo.
Wide receiver ones that could demand a double team is like, in my opinion, it's the icing on the cake, because now it opens up so much more to your offense.
So all right. So CR was late to the program last week as far as the DJ Moore trade, but I am somebody who I think, even though when we look at DJ Moore's production from previous years, he's been more productive when he's been the number one guy and like there's no other option. And he's got guys like Kyle Allen and not Josh Allen throwing to him. I feel like Chicago just want to go a different way. So to me, I feel like DJ Moore is still a number one wide receiver. But if you were to name, if someone to put me on blast and say, could you name 15 number one wide receivers better than DJ Moore? I would probably struggle, but I think I could. I feel like DJ Moore is still a number one wide receiver, but we just don't consider him to be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. No. I don't consider him to be that, no, but I feel like he's still, for a 2-year window, he could be the number one dude. And like, it was kind of the same thing that I had with when the Bills got Stephon Diggs. It's like, well, like just finally, they got a number one dude, and then Cole Beasley can be the 2, John Brown can be the 2, Beasley the 3. You have everybody playing their exact positions they're supposed to be.
I remember Beasley. Beasley was a slot killer, man.
Oh, he was nice. He was a killer.
He was a slot killer, man. That's why I was just like, I can't hate up on Beasley. Like even when he was with the Raiders, he was still killing it. The Cowboys, he was killing it.
Well, then, and that's the whole thing, is like when he went to Buffalo, I thought this is going to be dope. But it's also, they didn't address the actual number one. They didn't address the X like they needed to when they got Beasley. So everybody was playing out of position. But now they got Shakir, who is, I don't want to say the top slot wide receiver in the NFL, but I would say he's a top 7.
Top 5.
I just didn't want to be the Bills homer. I was just not trying to be
that's not being a homer, it's just being honest. I mean, Shakir with Moore, and who's not to say that, big, Kincaid, who's not to say that can be a big 3 right there.
Well, see, and
James Cook.
I love Kincaid. I think Kincaid is one of those dudes who could. Will he be Travis Kelce? No, but I think that he could be Travis Kelce adjacent.
Yeah.
Where he could get you on average 700 to 900 yards a year, between 7 to 9 touchdowns a year as well. As long as he's targeted correctly, obviously.
I was going to say he has to be used correctly.
Exactly.
In my opinion, Joe Brady has to be more aggressive with Josh. Like, get the most out of Josh. Let's not make it superhero Josh. Let's just get the most out of him. Let him. I think if he can manage the game better, cut down on the turnovers, the sky's the limit with Josh, man. It's all mental. It's just all mental.
We'll see, and that's where all of his stuff starts to get kind of convoluted. And I want to appreciate Matt Campbell again. He goes, "Busy, my goodness, I miss him. Me too, man. Me too, my God, me too." But the thing was, the reason why Josh won his MVP was because he was still Superman, but he limited the turnovers. That was the whole reason why he did, because, and nobody wants to hear it, or they always are disingenuous on the way that I come across with my take on this, is that I feel like two things made Josh Allen. And I always credit Matt Zabrowski every time I say it. One, Stephon Diggs. Two, COVID year.
So you saying the COVID year helped him?
I feel like all those, like him and Herbert, I feel like it helped a lot. Because they're used to being in like the big stadiums, right?
Yeah.
High school is not the same thing, right? But in college, especially for Josh, because Josh didn't play at LSU or Ohio State, but he got to play it at Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
That really, and again, I'm not saying it's a definitive linear thing, and that is the reason why he became what he was, but I do remember before A, the COVID year, and B, before they got Stephon Diggs, people were saying, y'all traded up to get this dude. He cheeks. Y'all weren't saying that in 2020. So two things happened, and both of those things happened at the exact same time.
Understandable. I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from. So you saying that if it wasn't for the big crowds and having a legit wide receiver one.
The thing is, we obviously cannot rewrite history and say that he would not be what he is now. But what I would say is that based on the first year and a half to 2 years of his career and how people viewed him and how they view him now, if that did not happen, I would have a very, 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 very slim chance that y'all would think the same way about him that you do now.
No,
that is where I will lay that at.
You're right, because his first 2 years, it was he was inaccurate, couldn't read a defense to save his life, but he had his moments when he was like, as I will call him, white Cam Newton, his first 2 years.
Yo, that's so funny because I call him white Jameis Winston. every time, the first 2 or 3 years that he was in the league, I go, damn, nobody can make that throw. And then I go, damn, nobody would make that throw. That was me.
You can still have those moments. Like the Denver playoff game, I had those moments. Because there will be times I'm like, this is, in my opinion, the top 2 quarterback in the league. You couldn't prove anything, couldn't prove him wrong. But then the turnover before halftime, I'm just like, that's some of the dumbest shit I ever seen.
He has that, and see, this is why when I say the things that I do on the Sports Adventure page, it's because like it's supposed to be fun. And when people say, well, I know who you are, you hate Josh Allen. No, I don't. I think that he's a great person. I think that he's a great quarterback. I think that people who elevate him don't realize his flaws. And I'm just a Bills fan who's willing to point him out.
There's nothing wrong with being honest, man. There's nothing. Don't ever apologize for being honest. Because you're right. He has his flaws. It's just, I just hate when people make the excuses for him. Like that Denver game, that's all up on him. I'm not blaming it. I can't blame the defense. I'm not blaming receivers. I'm not blaming the O-line. You give all the glory to the quarterback when they win. But when they lose, what's that?
People will because they gave up 30 points.
Nah, fuck. He 4 turnovers.
Thank you. And that's the whole thing is like points are not relevant to what's actually happening during the game. Like, yeah, 30 points, but let's just say, again, like you just said, you gave up 4 points or 4 turnovers, and the drive is starting on your side of the field.
And they go ahead and score a touchdown.
All right. Don't blame that on your defense. That's not your defense's fault.
They're not going to get every stop, man. I just hate that it cost their head coach his job.
Sean McDermott, and you know what? It's so funny to me is the fact that when Sean McDermott first got to the Bills, I swear to God, the intention was not to make this a Bills podcast. We'll move on in a second. But what I thought was really funny was when he first got to Buffalo, it was Sean McDermott only hires or only brings on to the squad ex-Panthers players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does he do? He gets fired. They got Joe Brady, who used to play for the Panthers.
And then he was the offensive coordinator there.
Yep. And then who they trade for? DJ Moore, who used to play for the Panthers.
And Joe Brady.
And then Joe Brady. Like, y'all still live in the same space. This might be a Pagula and Bean thing and not a McDermott thing.
Listen, Pagula loves Brandon Bean. I mean, he loves Joe Brady. He loves Joe Brady. Both of those guys are from Penn State. He loves that guy. I just couldn't believe that, like, the second that McDermott was fired and they gave him the job, I was just like, this was the pie to plant all along.
And that was the thing for me, too, is like we use the term nepotism in such a linear state of father to son, mother to daughter, like that kind of thing. No, this was baked in the bread of Buffalo Bills football, where they're like, thanks, Sean, for getting us where we were supposed to be, but we're done now.
Yeah, we got
they kicked him to the curb, and they knew his succession. That was nepotism in just a different sense.
Yeah, he got promoted from within quickly.
No, man, like I don't know. Apparently, he's a really good liar, and he's a good person and a great liar. So, okay, let's move on to Max Crosby to the Bills. You messaged me about that because we talked a little bit about it off stage. Was you say congratulations, and I said, oh, that's weird. I don't see anything about it, but because the Bills have restructured Josh Allen's contract, is that the reason why you thought the Bills were going to end up scooping up Max because the Ravens deal backed out?
Yep. I mean, for Josh to give up $40 million to get it back on the back end, that was the sign right there. I was just like, oh, this is for Max. Go ahead. You don't even have to trade 2 first-round picks. Give him a first and a third. I think he'll get it done.
Oh, well, see, and that's why we talked about the Tom Brady whole thing about, it's like, oh, maybe he's got that super brain going on of like, we'll give you 2. Oh, he can't pass the physical, get him back. And maybe at first, because what that does is it devalues what he's actually quotationally worth. So at that point in time, if 2 firsts went for him in conference, not division, but in conference, well, these damaged goods, what could we get for it? And I will tell you this, man. If the Bills could get Max Crosby for a 1 and a third, I don't care what the outcome is. To me, that is a successful trade.
Now, it would just raise up the expectations as usual. You know that, right?
It will, but not for me personally. You can't hurt somebody who's broken, man. Like, you
can't hurt somebody that's broken. That's understandable, bro. Hey, I understand. I get it, bro.
I mean, you're a Browns fan. You know, almost. You know,
I'm in the same boat as you, man. You can't break me, man. I'm already broken. I done seen it all.
That's some Ray Lewis, like, I'm a machine. You can't hurt me, jerk.
Yeah, exactly. I sit up here and watch the Browns. They'll be up by like 2 touchdowns with 2 minutes left. I know they can still blow this thing. Somehow, some way, they'll blow it.
You're just the LA Chargers with Phillip Rivers, but with worse weather.
Yes. Somehow,
Like,
some way, we got the ball back. We're here at our own 30-yard line. We got to go 70 yards within like a 57 seconds. It's
and you
not
got one
happening.
timeout. You
You
got
got
one
one timeout.
timeout.
It's not happening, bro. It's over.
I just like it's something where I think I mentioned it in the chat. It just feels like it's not the same. It's not the same compensation, but it feels like the same kind of desperation with Buffalo that what they were trying to do with Von Miller. Because like we need edge rusher, we need to get somebody. And the contract was not as awful as what people seem to make it out to be when you think about it. It's almost kind of the same thing when you think about Mike Evans going to San Francisco. It looks like a lot on paper, but in reality, it's not.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Max Crosby, if they're chasing him, it feels like you're just looking for the closer. You look for the closer with Von Miller, and then you did with Bosa, and now you're doing it here. I don't know, man. If McDermott isn't running that joint, I do feel like, but I feel like Buffalo will still make the playoffs this year, but it's going to be underwhelming even if they do. And that's with Max because they let Teron Johnson go, who's one of the best slot corners in the NFL.
I couldn't believe it.
What are y'all doing?
I thought they was going to franchise tag him.
When they let him go, I've never been more mad in my entire life of a Bills front office. And I saw them draft EJ Manuel after trading back. I saw them still draft EJ Manuel. That's the most irritated I've ever been in my entire life. I'm like, what the are you guys doing?
I don't know what the plan was, but that shouldn't have been a part of it. You can't let good secondary players go.
Man said, I would love Max. Man, I would too. I would love to have Max, but
you got to have a secondary to go with the pressure.
So, well, like as well as I do, like if you have a crazy front four, it makes up for having a lackluster secondary, kind of. But not all the time. It doesn't work on every play. It doesn't work in succession. Like they're not coupled together, right? Same thing with having, if you had the best secondary in football, what does it matter if you can't pressure?
If you can't pressure the quarterback.
So I love the idea of Max, but the other thing is like the cornerback situation in Buffalo is like Tre'Davious White, he's done. He's cooked. He's out. Hairston might be really dope. But who are you going to get at the opposite corner?
You got to go out there and get somebody.
You got to go get somebody, right? And you let go of Teron. And Teron's, again, one of the best, not even just slot corners. I feel like he's a top 15, top 20 corner in the league, but he primarily plays in the slot. So this whole thing, Buffalo has mismanaged defensively this entire offseason. Matt Milano's old as hell. This team is not going to be good unless they put up 40. That's the way I'm not looking. Not that I'll get to watch them, thank God, because I'll be at work every Sunday. But I don't feel like they're going to be good at all. Like this team's going to be fun to watch, but I don't think that they'll be good.
Who's the defensive coordinator there?
Man, I don't know. It's probably Leslie Frazier again.
Oh, don't do that, man. You got to get somebody that's innovative.
It's Jim Leonard.
I'm not gonna lie, I like that. Jim Leonard he's a respectable coordinator. I know he had Wisconsin secondary. He had them cooking.
I know, but man, I wasn't trying to make this a Bills podcast, but Josh Allen's a talking point. Max Crosby is a landing point's a talking point. So this is where we are right now.
I still listen. I was texting my dude Chris. This is probably like last week. I'm like, go ahead and just trade for Justin Jefferson. He ain't happening in Minnesota. He was like, as much as I would love that, he was like, I don't want to give up 2 or 3 first round picks for him.
Who's he a fan? Is he a Browns fan as well?
No, he's a Bills fan.
Oh,
He's a Bills fan.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Okay, so to me, like there's levels to this, right? So if the Bills, oh man, that one's man. When you first brought it to my attention, I go, I would absolutely give up 2 first rounders for him, and then I started thinking, nope, defense is awful.
You just said, you're gonna need to score 40. You're gonna be in the same boat as the Cincinnati Bengals.
Thank you. We're gonna be exactly in the same boat as the Cincinnati Bengals. And now going back to this free agency thing is Trey Hendrickson.
They overpaid, man.
How
he's 31, he's 32 coming off of hip surgery. And they gave him 4 years, $112 million.
But is it all guaranteed though?
No, it was 60 at guaranteed at signing, so it's a win for him.
So the Ravens gave him basically 60 mil.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's a spite deal.
I mean, from what I heard, he was going to sign with Indianapolis. He was going to sign with Indianapolis, and then last night the Ravens called him and said, "We got an offer for you." And this is like right before the max deal fell through.
He was going to sign with the Colts. Really?
It's a nasty game, man.
No, but I understand. The thing is, like, I understand why Trey Hendricks would do that because Cincinnati played him so dirty for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's just weird that he had to get that point as a player.
I don't know why the Bengals didn't just trade him and got something for him. All they got now is a 5th round comp pick. I'm like, that's not a fair trade-off. Like, I'd have traded him at the last deadline last season, got a 2nd or a 3rd round pick for him and just been done with it. But 4 years, $112 million. I'm like, let's just say if Miles hit the market right now, how much would have got?
Oh, that would have been nuts.
I could see him getting like a 5-6 year deal, probably like around like 160, 170. But
well, I guess the biggest thing is that because it's not like fully guaranteed, that kind of it's almost, we talked about this earlier with the Mike Evans thing, is that it's not 3 years 120. You know, it's like there's a lot of incentive laced things that go along with it.
Yep.
So that might be the reason why.
I don't think we'll ever see another fully guaranteed contract. Not in the NFL.
Deshaun Watson just ruined that for everybody.
He ruined it for everybody. First, it was Kirk Cousins, then Deshaun Watson. So we'll never see that again.
Well, you could also make the argument that like Albert Hainsworth had a little bit of
that. I was talking to my dudes last night about that one. I don't listen.
This is why dudes can just have fun, just name random contracts and random people and have a good time.
Washington, they gave out a lot of contracts like that back in the day. Like if it was a free agent that they wanted, they overpay him about $20-30 million.
Clinton Portis was one of those guys.
I used to love that guy.
Oh, dude, like Madden, what, 2005, 6?
Yep, he used to go off. Had him up there on the Broncos. Then he went to Washington.
Same with the Landis Gary, just running that.
You couldn't go wrong with the Shanahan system.
No, but see, and the Shanahan system, I think right now is kind of. Do you think that the Shanahan system now is kind of getting overblown and overhyped with the coaching tree because to me, I feel like Andy Reid doesn't necessarily have like the coaching tree hierarchy that we usually talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we talk about is like Belichick and Shanahan. I feel like Belichick has one of the most failing coaching trees in NFL history because
Yep.
what you're trying to do is replicate him. Same thing with Nick Saban. You're trying to replicate Nick Saban and you're not getting Nick Saban.
You're
So
not getting those results.
exactly. So to me, it feels like Shanahan and Belichick and Saban are kind of on the same trajectory, and that Andy Reid is just like, I'm good with flying under the radar and making good coach.
Always. He's
And
always under the radar.
he always, just because you look like the Kool-Aid man doesn't mean that we're not going to find you at some point in time, but he does. Like, he doesn't talk a lot. They produce good coaches. Is Andy Reid going to go down as one of the top 3 head coaches of all time? Because I feel like at some point in time, we're not going to think about him that way this way because we think about Lombardi, we think about Belichick, we think about Shula. At some point in time, Andy Reid is going to get his flowers, and he will be will he be by the consensus? I don't know, but should he be? I think that he should be a top 3 head coach of all time.
I agree. I mean, he's won with different quarterbacks. It's not like he was like Belichick and won with only one. Yes, he won with only Mahomes, but what I'm saying is he has built different quarterbacks. Like he had them successful in his system.
He went to 5 NFC championships with Donovan McNabb. 5 of them.
People are arguing if he's a Hall of Famer, and I'm just like, let's ask Andy Reid that because when he left Andy Reid, he was never the same quarterback again.
No, he wasn't. And you know what? Michael Vick had his resurrection because Chip Kelly was the OC, but it was still Andy Reid who was running that joint.
Is Andy Reid? He's a quarterback whisperer.
Because that's the thing is like when people try to give credit to certain coaching staffs, again, I feel like there's always going to be there's more context than just you have the label of manager, you have the label of head coach.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have around you? What are you building up? And how did you make it to where it is right now? And I feel like Andy Reid has never been a loser.
No. It was like up there in Philly, he was known as a guy that he can get you there, but he can't win it. So he left from there, went to Kansas City. He won, like he got far with Alex Smith. He made Alex Smith serviceable more than Jim Harbaugh. So that's why in my opinion, I would have Andy Reid in front of Bill Belichick. I don't care that he has 6 Super Bowls.
Hot take.
My thing is that he's won with different quarterbacks. Like he has gotten to NFC Championship games, AFC Championship games with Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes. He has made Mahomes, in my opinion, the second greatest quarterback that I ever seen.
Behind
Brady.
I hate you. Why didn't you say JP lost, man, like a real
Oh my goodness. I could have said Billy Edwards. But in my opinion, Mahomes coming into next season he's a scary guy.
Yo, and that's what I told CR is like I'm scared. And he goes, "You're scared for Chiefs fans?" I said, "No, I'm scared for the league."
For the league, because now there's doubt creeping into everybody's mind that Mahomes might be done. He might have lost something because he got hurt and he didn't do anything last season. But my thing is that you're giving this guy motivation. As a quarterback, like you're gonna doubt me. All right, I'm gonna come out next season and I wouldn't be surprised if he went on a run like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning and throws 50, 55 touchdowns next season.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I've mentioned this beforehand where I believe that the NFL should absolutely take notice of Patrick Mahomes, because if that man was putting up video game numbers the moment they got rid of Tyreek Hill, what the hell do you think he's going to do without Tyreek Hill and coming back from this?
He's gonna be motivated, and I think with Eric Bieniemy being there, he's gonna keep him motivated.
I forgot that Bieniemy's coming back too,
and he's the offensive coordinator.
So let me go ahead and get back to the chat real quick. Matt says Ayuk gonna fleece Washington.
Yes.
Is Brandon Ayuk is he a commando now?
He's going to be a commando.
He's gonna be okay. Mario says Andy will be a top 5 eventually for sure. Matt says Reed is already in my top 3, which I mean, opinions are opinions. Like to me, like I don't really have a hierarchy when it comes to players and coaches. I don't really have this opinion on who's top 5, because I do take into consideration when you played, when you coached, who the players were, which players were allowed to play on top of the fact. So I don't really line myself in those top 5s, but what I really do line is like what's going on in the moment. Mm-hmm. And in the moment, I do feel like Andy Reid's a top 3 or 5 coach. And when it comes down to it, will we look at him as a top 5, top 3 head coach of all time? I would like to think so, but that's where I'm at. I don't vote for these guys, so my opinion doesn't matter. I'm just talking.
I can see you being, if you was a Hall of Fame voter, I can see you leaving him off your ballot just for the first year.
You think I would leave?
I'm joking, bro. I'm joking.
That really hurt my feelings. Oh my god, dude, that hurt my feelings, bro. Like, oh.
You seen the outrage that started with Bill Belichick, man.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I'm glad that you put me on blast doing that live, because that just shows I absolutely would put him in my top 3, because I was like, how dare you say that I wouldn't? That really means that I do think that he is. Like, that's
he's a quarterback whisperer. That's how I view him. Like, you give him any type of quarterback, he'll make it work somehow, some way.
Bro, he made it work with Michael Vick out of jail.
Yeah, like I didn't think that would happen. He had Kevin Cobb as a Pro Bowler.
And then the Bills paid him like infinity $1 billion. I fucking hate this. I hate my franchise so much.
They had the money. They had to spend it on somebody, man.
Yeah, why not Kevin Corn on the Cobb? Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go back to the chat real quick. Mario's I like you, and I'm actually legitimately mad at you for bringing up Kevin Cobb. Mario says, I would say eventually, because he will reach the amount of wins that Belichick and Shula. He's already got the same resume otherwise. I don't know if does he reach the head coaching pinnacle of
all-time wins? He could.
It's on the board. I just don't know if it's possible.
He's been around since '99.
How far back is he? How far back is he? Isn't he like 30?
He's been what 28, 27 years as a head coach.
No, but as far as like how far back is he from taking over? I think that he's like 30, like high 30s, low 40s from actually taking over.
I can see him making it. I can see him doing it. He's not like an asshole like Bill Belichick.
As long as he's got number 15 and he's willing to lay down the cheeseburgers a bit, I feel like he got it. I feel like he got him.
He does, man, because he's been around since '99. He's been coaching nonstop. He got the Super Bowls to go along with it. Yeah, like all he need, I say about what? Because Shula probably got like, I think like 300 something, 303, 304.
He's something like that. I know that much, but
he can make it. As long as he got that quarterback there, he can make it.
As long as you got 15 in ketchup jerseys.
I wish that Kelsey would have retired though.
Really?
Because I want them to pick the tight end from Oregon.
Yo, that I don't know his name because I don't pay attention to college football that much, but I've seen his stats, and that man is a monster.
He's a beast, man. I was just like, if you can have him in an Andy Reid type system, it would be scary.
Well, and I made this point, not this offseason, but the offseason beforehand, is that we are about, and this is before the trade deadline as well. I said we're about 4 weeks away. So the first 4 weeks of this past NFL season, I thought if Travis Kelce has another low production season, they are going to get Kyle Pitts somehow, some way. And if they would have actually done that, to me, it's a wrap.
It'd have been lights out because they already got the speed on the outside, man.
Well, they got speed on the outside, and that's the thing. Like when I criticize the Buffalo Bills, they have no outside leverage and they have no real like outside threat. But I also say when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, is that you get names like you got Sammy Watkins, you got DeAndre Hopkins, you got Rashad Bateman. Like you're getting names, but you don't really have any actual number one wide receivers. You're just putting dudes out there and hoping that Derrick Henry can kind of bail you out and that Mark Andrews won't drop the ball, even though he does at some point.
They chose wrong keeping him over Likely.
Oh, 100%. But the thing is, too, is I saw this on the internet yesterday. I feel like this is really intriguing is the fact that maybe Harbaugh is like the coaching Tom Brady. Like we talked about Tom Brady being like this diabolical dude who was trying to send Max Crosby someplace else and then get Linderbaum and then get Crosby back because he knew he couldn't pass the physical. And then we start talking about the trade or the overall the draft compensation.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about beforehand? I was on a roll.
Isaiah Likely.
Oh, Isaiah Likely, that's right. Because he went to the Giants, right?
Went to the Giants.
That was the thing, is like maybe Harbaugh was doing that diabolical stuff too. Was like, well, I know that I'm not gonna be here.
I might as well take your players, take some of your coaches too.
Let's go ahead and sign Andrews. I'm gonna sign Likely on top of the fact that I don't know, man. Like it's like Lovie Smith when he intentionally won when he was supposed to lose. This feels like some coaching stuff that's like on the next level of, all right, you trying to with me? I'll do it right back to you.
Yeah, I'll take your players and I'll be more successful with them. And I'll say the Giants, they could be a sleeper team, but I'm not trusting that quarterback.
Oh, I don't trust Jackson Dart at all.
You do had like 3 concussions last season. I'm not trusting that, man.
No, he's basically right-handed Steve Young, but less talented.
Yeah, like kids, learn to slide, man. A lot of these quarterbacks can help themselves if they learn to slide.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna do that because they're young, dumb, and stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna show my toughness here. I'm gonna stick my shoulder here into this linebacker, knowing damn well he's about to knock the shit out of me.
I feel like Dable has a lot to do with some of that. I don't know because I don't know the man personally, but it does feel like it's, on the board.
You better not do that shit with Cam Ward.
Man, you ain't lying.
He's already a little short guy, so don't do it. Learn to run out of bounds and learn how to get down.
Well, let's go over before we hang it up. What are some of your free agent picks? What have been some of the wild ones? Do you feel like do you feel more excited for another team based on what they've done, or do you feel like if you were to grade some of these teams?
I love what the Raiders did. I love that they're building
because you got Max Crosby back. That's not fair.
They're building their defense with the secondary and the linebackers. They got Nakobe Dean and who's the other linebacker that they got? But they signed 2 linebackers on the first day, and I'm like, That's what you're going to need to play against Kansas City, the Chargers, and the Broncos in that division. Another team that I like what they're doing, the Colts, even though they overpaid for Alec Pierce.
Nope. Okay. Nope. I'm putting my phone down because I was going to go through and try to find out what was going on. How I was trying to defend their Daniel Jones signing, and the only reason why that I can is it's only 2 years. But Alex Pierce to me is not a great wide receiver, and they're paying that dude like $25 million a year, and they're going to pay Daniel Jones $40 million a year. Daniel Jones is basically a rich man's Jesus clipboard with Charlie Whitehurst, except for he's got to play more. That man's awful.
You're not going to give him respect for last season?
No, for half a season, and he's been in the league for 7. No, I will not.
Okay, man.
Am I supposed to?
Nah. I mean, they blew the division lead.
You're such a nice person. Like if you disagree with me, yell at me. It's like, no, man. Daniel Jones deserves every penny of $88 million because I don't.
I mean, listen, the trend to go from 37 to 44. I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. But at the same time, is Jim Irsay controlling the organization from the grave? You already know that's the Jim Irsay thing, man.
Well, that's so weird. It's like, why are the Ravens making actual moves that make sense? Like the NFL doesn't make any sense anymore, dude.
It never does during free agent season.
I swear to God, dude, like the moment the floodgates are open, it is just Katrina everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I'll say this. I'm kind of mad that the Chiefs signed Walker to 15. Yeah, they signed him for $15 million a year. You never pay a running back that much, man. The only way you'll pay a running back that much is if it's a 3-down running back. He's a 2-down.
the moment, well, because it was funny because the moment that you said I'm mad that they signed for 15 mil, I was like, no, it seems pretty good. And like, because I'm like, here it goes. I'm
not paying. Listen, I'll pay an elite running back, a 3-down running back, but Kenneth Walker is not a 3-down running back.
No, he's a first and second down guy and short yardage.
Yeah, but other than that, nah. They could have got Jeremiah Love. They could have drafted him, but I get it.
But do you think that he would have been there at, what was it, 9?
Yeah, I think he would have.
I think, well, and I know that you and I have very different opinions on the running back. I largely agree with you. Like the running back doesn't matter to a degree because they are a replaceable thing very often. But that's exactly why I don't have a problem with drafting one so early, is because they are replaceable. So draft them early if you have the offensive line and some other weapons. Draft them early. Don't pay them. Let somebody else pay them on the second contract. That's the way that I've always viewed it.
And just reset and do the same thing over and over.
Every 3 or 4 years.
It's not hard.
This is why we should be GMs, man.
I don't know. Because, like you said, some fans would say something wrong to me. I'm going to go ahead and find you. I'm going to dox you. I'm going to find out where you live and work at.
Matt, who's a Bills fan, who's been watching the entire time. I appreciate you, Matt Campbell. I see. It was Daniel Jones almost making as much as Lamar and Josh is crazy. It kind of is crazy. But see, but the thing is, like, this isn't Daniel Jones's first rodeo doing this. The Giants paid him, and then he went to the Colts, and now he's getting paid again by the Colts. And I don't understand it. Like, this dude is, I don't know what, this man has to have every single document of the Epstein files, and he's just hanging on to it really close to the vest and like, if you don't keep paying me, I'm gonna show the American people what it's really about.
Oh my
goodness.
It's
crazy to me, like, this man is not worth as much money, and God, he's a career backup to me. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Understandable. I mean, but you know how it goes. Quarterback league, man. Like Tua and Kyler Murray, they got paid to go away. They're getting minimum contracts with their new teams, but they're still getting paid handsomely by their old teams. So let's just say if they re-up next year, let's say they have a decent season, now they're going to go to those organizations and be like, hey, I want 46, 47, maybe $50 million a year.
Well, and the thing too is that like they're young enough where that's still on the table.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
so Tua I know went to Atlanta, and I don't even know if that's really a true, quarterback controversy, if you want to put it that way. But where did Kyler's still on the market though, right?
He's choosing between Minnesota or Pittsburgh.
Okay, I thought you said that he went to Minnesota. I was like, well, damn, I didn't realize that thing was real. I also didn't realize. I also got blindsided because I thought that you said that Max Crosby went to Buffalo. I was about to throw a parade for the AFC Championship game again before we get booted out.
Who would they lose to that next year?
It'll be Kansas City or Baltimore.
Oh, shit. If that happens, I'm gonna just be like, go ahead, vent it out. Just let all the vent to it. You can go ahead, spill your guts about the loss.
Well, the thing is, I personally don't care. Like I've been on this planet for almost 42 years. I've never seen the Bills win a Super Bowl. I don't get upset about it. People think that I do. That's the whole reason why I joke about Josh Allen and things like that. It's not my career. That's why I make fun of this stuff so much. I don't care. I don't care the way that some other people do.
Yeah, a lot of these fans are diehards. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But when it comes to other, but since we're talking about it and it's going to pay my bills a little bit, what's the weirdest free agent signing that you know of so far? I thought that Travis Etienne I forget his name. Is it Travis or Trevor? Etienne. Trevor. I was wrong on two accounts. Going to New Orleans. Does that seem like that feels like Kamara's on his way out?
Yeah, he's on his way out. But then that's when I heard that Etienne, he's from New Orleans, so he wanted to go home. So I get it. You got paid to go home.
Is that
my weird signing is Mike Evans.
It's also not a terrible pick because like it's what 11 mil a year. It's not top of the market, so it's kind of
in the middle. But Mike Evans going to the 49ers, I'm like, you could have. I was thinking like he would have chose the Chiefs, maybe the Bills, maybe the Ravens.
What was the compensation for his departure from Tampa to San Francisco?
It was 3 years, like
it's like 60 mil, but it's not really 60 mil.
It's 16 million.
The guaranteed, right?
The guarantee was 16 million. I was just like, you signed that cheat there? Like you could have went anywhere else and got a bigger contract, my guy. You're not going to win, in my opinion. He's not going to win in San Francisco. I do not trust Kyle Shanahan.
Man, so why is that?
Oh, he has a career of choking. He's been to 3 Super Bowls, and he's blown all 3 to have fourth quarter leads. He is a choker.
I thought you said he was a token, and I was like,
oh no. He is a known choker, man. You had 3 fourth quarter leads in the Super Bowl, and you could not close out one of them. And in 2 of them, he had a double-digit lead.
All right, I thought I had a counterbalance before that, but I don't. I was gonna say, well, he had Jimmy Garoppolo in one and Matt Ryan in the other, but it was also 28-3 is really hard to defend.
There's no defending 28-3.
28-3.
There is no defending 28-3. I don't care who you are. If you're trying to defend that, I'm going to call the police on you.
Put your location on.
I'm going to just say you are dangerous to society. You cannot be trusted. Kyle is whew.
But I also like I the way that I look at San Francisco sometimes is almost in the way that I would approach Jacksonville when they had Blake Bortles and they were kind of trying to hide him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Shanahan did that with Garoppolo.
Oh, he had to.
He had to, right, exactly. So that's why like, I'm with you on the aspect of this man deserves more criticism than what he's gotten, but also it's man, the fact that you did what you did with what you had, kind of impressive.
You got to win one. All I'm asking for is one win. You can't. Don't choke in the fourth quarter.
What if he goes to Denver like his daddy?
Just don't take Bo Nix. Don't have Bo Nix as your quarterback.
Bo Nix, can I get your honest opinion? I think that Bo Nix is awful.
He is. I
Thank
agree.
you. Okay, good.
I agree. I don't see how people are buying into him, and I'm just like,
I
you
know
mean
how
the whole? How do you break your foot? How do you not call it audible?
on the kneel.
Call it audible so you don't get yourself hurt, man. It's not too hard, man.
I think the reason why, and again, like as a person of observing the human experience, and I see how people interact, they just want to attach themselves to somebody. And they want Bo Nix to be basically right-handed, not quite as religious Tim Tebow.
Oh hell no. I mean, he stinks. Like he has completed one last season. He completed one pass over 40 air yards. That just tells me a lot because for Sean Payton's system, you're supposed to be airing it out. Like
It shouldn't be one.
yeah, you should have one at least a week. Like if I know Drew Brees is airing it out, you should be doing it.
I will defend Bo Nix on that. One a week seems a little bit extreme, but for him to do one for the entire season, nah, this man ain't it.
He's what 27 years old. He has reached the ceiling already. Him and Michael Penix, in which I said it before they got drafted. Whoever would draft them would get a head coach fired. Michael Penix has got one coach fired. Bo Nix would be the next.
Oh, that's a good question though now because I remember you saying that, but who does actually have the longer leash in Denver? Sean Payton's old as hell now.
Yeah,
but
Sean is up there, but
Bo
like,
Nix,
you as a Denver cannot take a step back. Like you're supposed to be on the up and up. You're supposed to be ascending as
they
this is
not.
Sean Payton, what, third, fourth year with Denver? You're supposed to be ascending. So there's no excuse to descend from it because the division is still gonna be top three heavy. I'm not gonna say top all four because the Raiders are
Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta keep contending. So
Do you have we're trying, and again my ADHD just kind of went off the rails, but so before because we've been out for basically an hour and a half now. Is there a free agent move that you thought was more wild than others, or do you now just we're pre-draft? Is there one move that has already happened that kind of kickstarts another team more than you thought, or a loss puts them back further than what we thought? Because again, it's we've had the Ravens. We thought that they were going to be on the up and up because of the Max Crosby deal. That gets
I think Seattle would take a step back. They lost a few defenders. I think they take a step back. A team that's gonna come up out of nowhere from free agent signings. Oh man, because I'm not the type to think free agent signing is gonna be, successful. It's all you got to always start with the draft. So
Do you?
Other than the Raiders, but I still see the Raiders only winning at most 4 or 5 games.
I was gonna say like 5, 6 games. Do you think that Kenneth Walker moves immediately? And that's it. I don't want to be that person as far as Kansas City is concerned, where because obviously, well, Mahomes got home, he got injured, but they were already kind of in that threshold where they may not make the playoffs anyways,
Yep.
and then they didn't because he got injured. But the Kenneth Walker sign to me seems like, again, I know the running backs don't matter in your eyes, and for me, still doesn't matter, but to a lesser degree. But maybe that's the thing that really kind of converting on third downs, letting Rashid Rice and letting their wide receivers get separation because there was no running threat. Maybe that's one of the key points.
I agree. I mean, I don't like the signing, but at the same time, I know how Andy Reid is. I know he can draw up some shit.
They gonna be bad, and that was the whole thing. Like when we talked, man, off stage was who do you think could be bad? Kansas City with 15 in a running game. Oof.
Dangerous. Dangerous.
So how do you feel about Cleveland?
I mean, they sound offensive linemen. I get it. I'm still not buying into it. It's still, in my opinion, it's a quarterback league. I'm tired of hearing from both sides of Shador fans and Watson fans, and I'm just like, whoever wins the job is not going to probably finish the season anyway.
No, that's probably a 5 to 7 week gig, and then you're injured, and maybe you come back after a month and a half. But
Yeah, I get it. Like they're going to want to protect the quarterback and everything. They still need a wide receiver.
see, the thing is that I like Jerry Jeudy, and that was the reason why I picked him in fantasy a couple of years ago. I was like, well, once he gets Russ, that'll be fine. But
You got tricked.
I did, yeah. No, you're right. I totally did. But I think that Jerry Judy's fine enough, but it's just, is he a true number one? That's the thing too, is like I don't actually know Jerry Judy's great because he's never played with a great quarterback. So I have no idea how legitimately good that man is at playing wide receiver.
Yeah. Like with Jameis, he went off, 2 years ago, he went off. He had like up over like 1,300 receiving yards. But that was with Jameis throwing you the football.
Exactly. That man was just throwing up saying, Jesus, let somebody catch it who wears the same uniform as me.
That's bad. That is bad.
but that's because like Jerry Jeudy had like a lot of 40-yard receiving games, but also had like 2 or 3 200-yard receiving games.
Yeah, and it makes you scratch your head and be like, damn, you couldn't show up this week?
Was it you or was it him?
Yeah. It's terrible. I would love for the Browns to trade for like a Brian Thomas or Marvin Harrison, but I'm not giving up a first round pick for him.
I have a lot of mixed emotions, and to me, it really depends on which team I am, because as somebody who doesn't watch a lot of college football, and that's something I've said repeatedly, is Brian Thomas Jr. is somebody who kind of broke out his rookie year, but was kind of in a slump last year. And Marvin Harrison Jr. has had a lot of drops. But both those guys won plays in a dome and in well kept weather, if you will, on the West Coast with Marvin Harrison. And then you've got Brian Thomas, who plays not so much in domes, but in great weather with Brian Thomas. And as a Bills fan, would I like to have either one of them? I guess. But if I was going to, I guess it's Marvin Harrison Jr.
I just think saying he just need more of a chance, like with the quarterback that can get him the ball. Because there's a lot of times that, he's dropping the ball. He got separation by 2 or 3 yards from the DB. And I'm just like, just concentrate on catching the ball.
And I do remember this in Marvin Harrison's rookie year 2 years ago when they were playing the Bills on a fade. This lives rent free in my mind. This dude was wide open.
And
Put
Kyler
the,
couldn't get him the ball.
put the hand up, and Kyler threw it into the stands. I was like, what the are we doing, dog?
That's why I was out on Kyler after that. Those Oklahoma quarterbacks, they don't know how to get their wide receiver one the ball.
Oh, so you think it's an Oklahoma thing?
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else, but I kept my mouth shut.
I just think like looking at Baker, I look at Kyler. Like if you can't get I'm not gonna say generational. I'm gonna just say a top
Attitude.
wide receiver one the ball consistently, that speaks out on you more than it speaks out on the receiver. So that's why I look at Jacoby Brissett. He comes in, Marvin has a 2 touchdown game. Then the very next week, Trey McBride has a 3 touchdown game. And I'm just like, it's not Jacoby Brissett. It's Kyler Murray. He doesn't know how to get these guys the ball.
So at this, it's really interesting. I love having these conversations with you because it does kind of put back into balance of what you can. When I say what we can see, it feels like I'm just putting it from the perspective of like the fans, but it also does mean from Kyler. Like, can you even see? And I don't want to make this like a height elitist thing because I'm 6'3", taller than him, but I ain't as good as him as football. Like he was the best high school football player in Texas, which
Yep.
means something.
It means something. Like
It
he was a
means
top
something.
recruit. But at
And
the same time, it's just I think when you're playing against elite competition in the NFL week in and week out, and you don't work hard, you're gonna get exposed. Kyler
100.
wasn't he doesn't work hard.
Do you think that he is still a okay? Ooh, I'm gonna play a game with you real quick. So I don't want to say starting quarterback because like he could still start for somebody. There's 32
Yeah.
teams, and I feel like he is better than 32 different starting quarterbacks. But what about 16? Is he better than half? Now let's to be fair, let's plug and play him into every single team. Not every single team because that's going to take forever. But any team that you think that was like, well, he's better than X player, like Dak, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, put him right.
I can say I'll put him up there at top 16, but he'll probably be around 15 or 16.
We'll see. And that's why I love these conversations is because I do feel like he's probably in the same boat, 13 to 19.
Yeah.
Based on
It hurts because he's not consistent.
no, that's exactly right. Because I've seen him make some of the most ridiculous plays that any quarterback could ever make. But the same, again, Josh Allen, White Jameis Winston. I say nobody can make that play, and nobody would make that play.
That's the NFL, man. That is the NFL. Like you got the quarterbacks that can make those type of plays. You got some that can't.
So should he just go play baseball at this time?
Oh hell no, it's over. It's over. It is so over, man. Like
I've seen so many people say, well, he was also the number 8 pick in baseball, so he could go play baseball. I'm like, bro, he's almost 30. Like, you don't, that's not how that works.
yeah, you go ahead and try to play down there, and you will never make the majors.
No, he better not ever get drafted by the Marlins because he'll be in arbitration for 7 years. Like, that's
Those small market teams in the Major League Baseball, they love saving their pennies, man. That's how I look at it.
well, Chicago even did the exact same thing with Schwarber. Like they held him back. He was MLB ready, and they still held him back.
And then all of a sudden, when he comes up, he blows up, and now he's with the Phillies.
Womp womp.
That's how it goes, man. That's why I wish baseball had a better a time service thing, because once you make the majors, you should stay there.
The The 7-year service thing to me is kind of absurd. I know just enough to not sound incompetent, but I don't know enough about it to be like an expert.
No, you're right. My thing is that I think once you're drafted, you should have like a 3, 4, 5 year deal. After that, then fuck the arbitration and all of that. You're a free agent.
Yo, that'd be wild. The other thing too, before we actually hang it up, we've been on here for an hour and a half. I want to ask you something. I have been on this train for years, and I know that it will never happen. But as somebody who I like the draft as like an experience, it's fun to kind of like hang out with your buddies and have a draft party. I would not care at all if the draft from all sports was just alleviated and it was just sign these dudes for whatever you want to.
But it has to be a cap to it.
Well, so the salary cap, and that's the thing too, is like MLB. I think like baseball doesn't have a salary cap, everybody else does. So the thing is, like, for me, I'm okay with no salary cap. I'm okay if there is a salary cap, but I'm also okay with, man, the draft goes out the window. Organize your team based on what you have and what you think is relevant to you. And if you want to sign this quarterback because that's what you need, you better open up cap space. And it's a free for all. To me, the draft is just one of those things. It's an arbitrary way of trying to create parity when parity isn't, to me at least, it's not consistent. Like we get the same teams that are good every single year. We talked about this like last week and the week before him, is that parity is something that does it exist? Sure, a little bit, but we also know who is cheeks every single year. So I'd rather just have these owners have free range. And if there's a salary cap, there's a salary cap. But the draft to me is just, don't worry about it, man. Let it go to the wayside. Like, you shouldn't have to go to the Jets if the Jets are the number one pick and they're awful because they're intentionally being awful. Like, let somebody else bid higher for you. I know that's what draft picks are for and things like that, but maybe in draft pick, let's get rid of draft picks altogether. How much money are you willing to push into the pot? Like, I'm okay with I'm okay with the option of it, at least.
As long as they're a cap, I'm for it, because I want to make sure those small market teams are doing their fair share. Because I look at what Major League Baseball is doing. Yeah, there's no cap, but at the end of the day, those small market teams, they're not doing their fair share. They're actually pocketing money from the big market teams due to revenue sharing.
Right.
So they don't have to spend because they'll pocket the money and they'll go tell fans, we can't go get this such and such player because these other big market teams are going to outbid us and we don't have the money. You do have the money. You just don't want to spend it.
You may not have the money that the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Dodgers do, but you've got the money. Like you said, you're hiding it though.
Yeah. That's why all owners would never open up their books. They would never open up their books, because if they did, they would get exposed for how much money they really earn.
Well, and that's one of the things that I've mentioned on the show before, and is like the money. It's almost kind of like when you own your own business, right? People say, well, I make $200,000 a year. I say, okay, well, can you, because I work in the car business, right? I work with a lot of people who are self-employed. How much do you make a year? And they go, 400,000 or 500,000. I said, is that how much you make? Or is that how much the business makes? Because the business makes $500,000.
You don't make that much.
And you pay out 450, you make 50 a year. So let's be honest with this. So, and I feel like that's kind of where we've gotten to in sports sometime, where like with the owners, like, well, the franchise is worth X. Well, the franchise itself is worth X, but you lose money repeatedly. You're making money on event revenues,
Yeah,
on tours and things like that. So you're not making money at the gate necessarily for your squad and who's coming in to watch you play, but you're making money on the back end on like that's exactly why Jerry Jones in Dallas, man. I mean, that's a bad example because they sell out every game. So that's a
yeah,
bad example. But there are some NFL teams that, like in New Jersey, the Jets and Giants are trash, but you don't think that people would like drive up to that
the
stadium and go
stadium.
watch.
Yeah,
No, you make money at the gate based on per event, not just how trash your team is.
exactly. That's why a lot of these teams are switching to domes now because they want to rent out their stadium all year round,
And
so they can get extra revenue.
that's a really good point because like I know when I asked on the Sports Avengers page, I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3 months ago, I said, what do you view like what's the better experience for you as a football fan? Is it weather, whatever? And everyone's like, yeah, I love the snow. One, I saw the data. Most of y'all don't live where snow is.
Exactly. They don't want to go to the game. They not ask them to go tailgate out in you know 2 feet of
Alaska.
snow. They're not doing that. They're not tailgating. They'll go to the game, and let's just say your team's losing 28-0 by halftime. Half of y'all leaving. That's the way
Exactly.
it goes.
Well, see, and that's what I was trying. That was more what I was trying to get at is like what motivates you. And again, the internet's really easy for you to just say to people, "Oh, I would never leave. Of course, I'd go early, but are you going to do it? Maybe not." Like the thing is, I don't have. Do I have the Buffalo Bills in my backyard? No, but I've been to one Bills game and I saw what it takes to get there.
And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. Trust me, because I look at these prices to these tickets now, like they're up there. But let's just say if you going to see an elite matchup, it's gonna run you a pretty penny, man.
Well, the last time I went to a Bills game, I would say was Jesus. Willis McGahee was actually still playing. And the only reason why I know that is because you know how you can get like the personalized jerseys?
Mm-hmm.
It was his first game back in Buffalo since he was drafted there. And
Uh-huh.
people had McGahee spelled differently.
Oh my goodness, they don't know how to spell that man's name.
No, they did it on purpose.
Oh, shit.
But that was the last time I went. That's the first professional football game that I've ever went to. But it's a venture, dude. But I will say this: it's crazy because in Buffalo, it's it's like you're driving through a subdivision,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden there's a football stadium.
That's how. Yeah, it has. It has
Crazy.
to be out in an open, a big ass open space.
It's it's wild, but it's so cool. But it's also, man, people don't understand like how much of a if you don't live there, you don't understand how much of a trek it is. But also, it's like taking anything for granted, right? If you know where the stadium is, you can go there and just go there every week, right? Like you can plan,
Mm-hmm.
you can schedule your work and everything else, and you can schedule 7 hours to go do it. If
Yep.
you're somebody who is a fan of someplace or a certain team, it's a journey, it's a destination, and you've got a lot of things that you have to coordinate for.
Not exactly. It's that's why like I look at the when the Brown Stadium is done, the new stadium is done. I done seen so many people complain about it. I'm like, half of you guys, y'all not gonna want to go there regardless because they moved it from downtown Cleveland and they're moving it into the suburbs. I'm like, half of y'all don't know how to act right. So now when the police are up there, y'all not gonna want to be there.
Half of y'all don't know how to act right, and half of y'all aren't even allowed.
Exactly. Like, oh man, people that gets banned from stadiums,
Yo,
don't be that guy.
You've earned it. So this is something that I've always said, like when it comes to my particular job, when I see people who are like 400 and 500 credit scores and they get offended by the interest rates that they got approved for, they go, well, that's asinine. I'm not going to pay it. It's the same kind of thing when you talk about with like the fans who want to get into places who can't get in there. Man, you earned it. You earned not being able to be here. You earned 25%.
You control that. Nobody else did. You did it.
You did it.
That's why I laugh at people that want to act a fool in a public place like that. Like, no, man. Don't get mad that you got banned. Like, you control your actions, man. You got to control, like, you want to drink and act a fool? That's on you, my guy, not me.
Well, and that's the thing too. Is like I know that the Bills fan. It's weird because Bills fans get a bad rap, and I understand it. But we're usually pretty happy drunks. But we see
they have a blast, man.
They do. But I remember on the West Coast, Niners and Raiders, they want to fight each other.
They'll fight you. They'll fight amongst each other.
Yeah, and it's like you guys don't even play in the same state anymore technically, but like Raiders fans still hold Oakland or Los Angeles close to heart.
Yeah.
And I see them in San Francisco every once in a while. Things get a little too dicey.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, know your surroundings, man. Know your surroundings and don't act a fool, because some of these guys, like these sporting events, and they get in these fights, and then who's not to say somebody jump you?
We'll say, and I'll say this before we get out. So when I talked about the Buffalo Bills game that I went to with my dad, my dad had a business trip in Maryland. So we flew to Maryland and then we drove up to Buffalo, watched the game, and then drove back. So it was a real quick turnaround. But so what I did is I bought a Jack Kemp jersey while I was at the Buffalo Bills shop, and I came back down and we had one day to kill until we had to go back. I had my Bills hat on, my Jack Kemp jersey, and most of the people were pretty friendly, but I had a couple of, Redskins fans, because they hadn't changed their name yet, get pretty aggressive. And I thought, I'm going to go back to the hotel real quick because I don't need these problems.
Yeah, you don't want those problems, man.
In Maryland? No.
You're just up there just walking around, not thinking, somebody could just walk up on you because you're wearing the wrong jersey.
I was wearing blue. They was wearing red.
They thought you was a Giants fan.
No, there may have been that too. That's the other thing, because wearing just blue with 15. Did Jeff Hostetler wear number 15? Maybe that was it. My hat had a Bills logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't see that, but they saw blue 15, and they were getting ready to.
Yeah, they was about to come get you, my guy.
Yeah, they were not happy with me, but luckily I was like 26 and I had the wherewithal to turn back around and say, I appreciate your time, good sir, but I'm heading back to the hotel.
I'm going to leave here, sir.
But anyway, did you have anything else you want to talk about before hanging up for the day?
No, I'm good. I mean, thanks for having me up on here as usual. Let's see if some crazy ass free agency signings happen again, because I could see something crazy happening.
I'm sure that something will. So I have tomorrow off, but I have to go pick up my wife and son from the airport at like 8:00 in the morning, which is like noon your time. So I won't be back until, I don't know, I would say probably, to be completely honest, well, yeah, we may have breakfast or whatever. Probably 4 or 5 Eastern time.
Okay.
So if that works for you, and if anything else crazy does happen, because I'm sure that something will, if you're good, before we can pop back on again.
All right. Thanks, bro.
Absolutely. You guys know the drill. You've been listening to the Playbook Podcast with Prescott Kelly. You guys know the drill. Stay up, stay blessed. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts for free. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for your time, LaShawn, from the great state of Ohio. I live in the crappy state of Alaska. Get you next time.
All right.